Okay, so in this video we're looking at calculating the circumference of a circle, and we know that circumference is the distance around the outside of a circle from the previous video. So it's the distance around the outside of the circle. That's done really badly, but I think you know what I mean with that. And we saw also that the circumference, and we actually proved how to calculate it, is the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So circumference C is pi times diameter pi d, or you can write it as circumference being 2 pi radius, because the diameter, which you can see here, is twice the radius, so you can replace diameter with 2r, so you can also write it as 2 pi r. So pi d and 2 pi r, they both give you the circumference of a circle. So I would definitely make a quick note of these here if you need to, because we're going to be using these on the next slides. So the questions here says, we'll go through a couple of my turn, your turns, and that's going to be it for this video. It says calculate the circumference of the circle, and you can use either this formula or this formula, probably depending on whether you're given the diameter or the radius of the circle. And the first one is saying, give your answer in terms of pi. Okay, that just means, well, circumference, and I've been given the diameter, which is, so I'm going to be choosing to use this formula up here. So I can go and say that the circumference C is equal to pi, and then I'm going to substitute in for D, and I'm going to use a bracket here. Okay, so I'm going to use a bracket. My diameter I can see is 2. Okay, so circumference is equal to pi. This means pi times 2. Now, I'm going to write this with the number first, so 2 pi, like that, because this, right, 2 pi means the same thing as pi 2. That means pi times 2, that means 2 times pi, they mean the same thing, but it's always number first and then your algebra, or your, in this case, symbol. Okay, so just to make it really, really clear, right, this here, this means 2 times pi. Okay, if things are grouped together, you times them. And that is your answer, because your answer is in terms of pi. I have not put it into my calculator, that is simply my answer there. Now it is saying on part B, give your answer to 1 decimal place, which means you go and type this in to your calculator. Okay, what I'm really trying to get you guys to understand here is they might ask you to give your answer in different formats. They might ask you to give it in terms of pi or to give it as a decimal. So here I can go and type in 2, and then pi on this calculator is down here. So you go second function for me, and then here, and you press equals to, and it will give it initially as 2 pi, what you can see here, but you press S to D, and to 1 decimal place it's going to be 6.3, because the 8 you round up, so 6.3 is going to be your answer. 6.3 centimeters is going to be your answer for this one. Okay, and really I should be saying, right, it's 2 pi centimeters, because it's a length and centimeters, and that is your answer. Okay, so you can now go and try the one on the right. You can try the your turn. You can pause the video and give that one a go. Okay, so hopefully you've given that a go. And again, we're getting the circumference, and part A is saying give your answer in terms of pi as well. So straight away I'm noticing I've been given the diameter again, so I'm going to be using this one up here because it has the diameter in it, and I'm just saying that the circumference C is equal to pi times the diameter, and the diameter here I'm substituting in for 5. Okay, now you write the number first usually, so you're going to write it as 5 times by pi. If this part is confusing you the way I've written it, this just means pi times 5. Okay, but I'm just literally, when you substitute things in, I always tell my students put it in using a bracket initially. But that's your answer, 5 pi, okay, because you've given your answer in terms of pi, and that's it. And again, really I should probably include the unit, because circumference is a length, okay, centimeters. Now part B, give your answer to 1 decimal place. It's just a case of getting out your calculator, which I've got up here, and we just go and type in 5, we go shift, then we go to pi down here, equals, put it into a decimal, and to 1 dp is going to be 15.7. So we can go and say 15.7 centimeters, and that is simply going to be your answer. And there we go. Okay, so just another my turn, your turn, very similar, but just this time, okay, you can see you're given the radius, not the diameter. So I'm going to be using this time the bottom formula. I mean, you could use the top one and just double the radius, but I'm just showing you really that you can use both formulas. So part A, again, give your answer in terms of pi. We know that the circumference is equal to, this time I'm going to use this one because I've been given the radius, which I can see is 1.7. So it's going to be 2 times by pi times by the radius. I'm going to substitute in r to be 1.7. Now this just means, to make it really clear below, I'll do it in blue so we don't get confused, it means you're doing 2 times pi times 1.7. So do 2 times 1.7. So double 1.7 is going to give you 3.4. So 3.4 times pi, okay, which you can just write as 3.4, and then pi can go there. And that's your answer, because you've given your answer in terms of pi. You got something pi. Okay, so that is your answer. And again, really should give the unit of centimeters for circumference. Now part B, give your answer to 1 decimal place. It's just a case of typing this into your calculator. So let's go and do that. Let's go and get the Casio calculator out, and let's go and clear this. So there we go, and we're typing in 3.4, and then we're going shift, and then we're going pi down here, equals to 17 over 5 is 3.4, but as a decimal it's going to be 10.7 to 1 dp. So there we go. So it's going to be 10.7 cm to 1 dp, and that is going to be simply be your answer. Okay, so now you can go and try the your turn, and that's going to be it for this video. It says, again, calculate the circumference of the circle. Again, they give you the radius, so let's opt to use this formula down here, because it's just going to be a little bit easier. And part A is just saying circumference is going to be equal to 2 times pi times the radius, which I'm going to substitute in to be 2.3. Now, this just means you're timesing it all together. So 2 times 2.3 is 4.6 times pi, so just 4.6 pi. And that is simply going to be your answer. Okay, in terms of pi, that is it. And again, give your unit, which is going to be centimeters. Now part B, to 1 dp, you just put it into your calculator again. So let's go and get the Casio out, and then go 4.6 shift pi. There we go. 4.6 as a fraction is 23 over 5, which as a decimal to 1 dp, that 4 is going to go up to a 5, so 14.5 centimeters. And let's go and do that in pen. So 14.5 centimeters. And that is it. Okay, that is how you get the circumference of a circle. And on the previous video, we actually saw where these formulas came from, which is a really nice video. So I definitely recommend you watch that. And I believe that is it for this video, which it is. Thank you for watching.